Okay, lesson 87, properties of algebra. We are going to review some of the properties we have learned in the past. The first one is commutative property, and remember that that means that you can change the places of the numbers and there's no change in the result. For example, if I add 5 plus 3 is the same as 3 plus 5. Or the same as multiplication. 5 times 2 is the same as 2 times 5. Okay, the next one is associative. And the associative property is whenever for just matter of calculations, any of these are for you to help you calculate, that you can put together or start adding first the first two and then the third one, or you can do it the other way, add first the last two and then the first one, and you will get the same answer. And the same happens with multiplication. We will see examples of that in a little bit. Then we have the reflexive property, and that property just states the obvious, which is that each number is equal to itself. Then we have the symmetric property, and the symmetric property tells us that it doesn't matter which order I put, like the x can be here and the number here, or the number here and here. So, but we usually put the x on the left side. X equals 5, but that also equals 5 equals x is the same thing. It's just a matter of preference. And then the last property is the transitive property, which is that if two things are the same and one of them equals something else, then the other one also equals the third thing. For example, if A equals B and B equals C, then we can assume that A, or we can affirm that A equals C. All right? For example, if I have that two people are the same age, and then I said that there's a third person that is the same age as one of them, well, then that person is also the same age as the other one. Okay, let's do the example 87.1. It says, use the commutative and associative properties to simplify. So the exercise, they give it to us like this. Very simple addition. I could just add all of these one by one, 87 plus 49. But we can also, and in math, we always look to make things simpler. We can also use the commutative property, because I see that this 7 can add very easily with this 3, and this 9 can add easily with this 1. So I change this 13 here and the 49 here so that they can easily be added with each other. And then I'm going to do associative property to add these two and to add these two. And then this equals 100 and this equals 100, which then equals 200. And it's a lot easier to simplify this way. Okay, so that's using commutative and associative properties to simplify. Is looking for pairs where I can easily put them together and add easier. I took a lot less time doing this process than if I would have started adding 87 plus 49 plus 13 plus 51 in that order. Okay, so what I want you to do is go to the practice and start with your exercise. The exercise says the same. Use the commutative and associative properties to simplify. So please pause the video, do it yourself, look which two of these numbers can we put together, or which pairs can we make, so that it's easier to do this multiplication instead of doing 5 times 25 times 20 times 4. All right, so pause the video and then we'll continue with the answer. Okay, here goes the answer. So what we're going to do is I'm going to say, okay, 5 times 20 is easy. I know that one. That's 100. And 25 times 4, I know that one. So I'm going to put these two together and these two together. That is the commutative property, because we're changing places. Then we're going to do associative property, which means let's do these two and these two. It's like I'm putting parentheses in my mind. 5 times 20 is 100 and 4 times 25 is 100. And then I multiply and the answer is 10,000. Notice how the first example was with addition and the second example, or this one of the practice, with multiplication. Don't get confused. If one is addition, keep it adding all the way. And if one is multiplication, then multiply all the way. All right, hope that was clear.